Boy, we really struggled the first half, and I think some of it was, well, a lot of it was Eastern. And we got on our guys at halftime, and boy, we had an awful nice game out of our two inside guys. And that really helped us. And I think, you know, we've got to have that if we're going to be successful. Questions?
He couldn't seem to keep Durkis off the offensive glass most of the night. Is that something that is typical of him, just crashing the boards like that?
Yeah, he's uncanny. He's a kid that's he's a different kind of player than I think I've had. I knew in high school when I recruited him, I thought he was a special player because I thought he could pass the ball good, but I didn't know where he would exactly play. So his freshman year, he didn't play very much, and because we had Tim Politz, and he had to go against Tim every day in practice. But then you could see his progress his sophomore year, and he's just showing us different things ever since his beginning of his junior year. I mean, he does something that really helps us that game most of the time. You know, he has bad games. Like tonight, he had 6 turnovers, and he was 3 for 8 at halftime. You know, just bad passes. But then he turns around in the second half, and he doesn't have any turnovers, and he just plays. He played great the second half. I mean, we had missed shots, and that last tip in was something else, you know. So he did a great job. And Fletcher did too. Fletcher got down inside and scored, and that was good for our team. We got to do something to take people off of Bramos. Because when we lost Kenny Hayes, we lost our ability to break people down off the dribble. And so now Michael's being guarded pretty good around the league. So I think with an inside attack, maybe they'll have less of an emphasis on him and more on some of our other guys.
You notice a little extra jitters with Bramos coming to play close to his hometown a little bit?
I think so. I don't think as much as it was in the beginning. I think when he his freshman year, when he played over University of Michigan, we played at Oakland, played University of Michigan, and we didn't play here that year. But I could tell a difference. Yeah.
More mature, you think?
Yeah. But he gets excited about coming back this way, you know.
You guys shot 64% in the second half. Was that attributed to just taking better shots, or just
Better shots. You seen us the first half. We were shooting on the run. We weren't taking our time. You can't play offense coming off a screen and you're running so hard and you shoot the shot. You can't do that. And that's what we were doing. And we were missing out. But Bramos was 1 for 9 in the first half. And he was hurrying every shot he took. Even when he was inside, he's big enough where he can take his time and go up, he's not going to get it blocked that much. So we slowed down the second half. Big shot of the game was Rodney Haddix hitting the 3 when he came in cold off the bench. I don't know if you remember that. It looked like Eastern was going to play pretty good now. We were up 9, I think. Maybe it was 8. And Rodney Haddix come in, hadn't played the whole game, hit a 3. Then another big play was, I think they cut it again. We saved the ball out of bounds. I'm hollering for Ballard to take it back out, and maybe we can eat some clock. But telling him something is like telling this piece of paper something. And he shot it, and he made the 3. And I told the bench, I said, he better had made that 3. And he made it, so, you know, I'm going to still bring it up to him, though. Those were 2 big shots for us. And Baldry's hard to guard. He and Dobbins, they're pretty good. And we knew Baldry was going to eventually get going. We knew that. And I think his pattern has been, I think now, after watching tapes, I think it takes him a while, but I think when he gets going, it's hard for teams to stop him. because he's inside and outside. Before he leaves here, he's going to be a contender for Player of the Year before he leaves Eastern. I mean that. And if and the worst thing is the fact that Carlos can't play. They got him. They got a decent team, man. Now I know you can't use excuses, but even more so for Eastern than for our team. Us losing Hayes wasn't as drastic as them losing Carlos Medlock. I really mean that. Because he controlled, Hayes can shoot it, he can drive. He didn't control the game like Carlos. Carlos has got the ball in his hands an awful lot. So that's hurt Eastern. That's hurt them, And, well, any other questions?
Is there anything particular you can point to, or maybe a reason why you think the West the East is just pretty much much better than the West right now?
Well, I don't know. Western tagged Kent pretty good today, or was tagging them pretty good.
Well, before this game, they came in 1-5.
Yeah,
The West,
that's because Ball State and Western, I think Ball State's leading Ohio, and Western's look like they're going to beat Kent. They were up 15 with a little bit to go in the game. You may have a couple teams that's a little down, but I think Central is playing better. They got Ohio the other day now. And Ball State is definitely pretty good with that big freshman kid who's going to be very special. And then Western's going to get it right. They've had injuries. So East may be a little bit better, but I wouldn't count the West out. I mean that. I think Buffalo is very good, very good. And but then after that, I think Ball State and Western compares. I really do. And usually teams in the MAC improve. They usually get better as the season goes along. I wanted to play the West in December, when they hadn't put it together yet. Ball State was, well, no, I didn't play ball when I played Ball State. They had Newell then. But, it's going to be interesting because I think you got 2 or 3 teams in the West that are going to be hard to deal with. I really mean that. Is that it? Okay.